Yo, 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 can you guys hear me? I just hit order filled, hold on. I just hit TP on here. Yep, there it is. Decided to hop on stream because I'm probably... Hold on. Wait, is the stream even on? Sometimes this gets kind of glitchy. Should be on. But I'm gonna be, trading, and I'll be live streaming as well. I have a different idea for this live stream because I figured I might as well give not really signals in a sense, but more so like trade ideas, if you want to call it that. But for the most part, like everything I teach and stuff is very mechanical. So everyone here, if you traded my system, you should have caught this trade. There's nothing like special or different really about this trade at all. There's nothing special or different about my system. I'm gonna try to make the music lower here. Alright, that should be good volume there. We just hit this TP here. This setup is something that's very A+ to me. There's literally no discretion here whatsoever. So everyone that trades my system or knows my system, you should have taken this trade here. I'll send you guys executions also, as well as me taking this trade before. So this was about like a 4.2 risk reward trade. So here's executions on my funded accounts in here. Here is executions right here. That's the end result. We just hit TP. It took a while to hit TP on this trade. About like an hour, a little bit longer than the usual, but we still hit TP. I need to find better music for these streams. But if you guys did want to, here's from the Discord private group, from the course members and such. Post trade idea and such, the different types of entries you could have taken, different TPs. This would be conservative, this would be aggressive here. Aggressive would also be up here, ideally at this high, but I'll go over real quick the reason why I actually took this TP slightly early here on ES instead of all those highs. Whoever took this on NQ, congratulations, because, dude, this thing skyrocketed. And I don't have my webcam right now because I'm actually eating. So, no webcam today. Alright, I'm gonna need some fighting music on stream or something. I think that's what I'm gonna download real quick right now while I wait for another trade. This is a pretty good prime time. Should we get some more people in here? But again, if you just joined, again, sent out to the group. Here's executions as well. And I did trade Kappa Potato. What's your username on the Discord? Kappa Potato. Do you have a name in the Discord? Sometimes I like to reference people from the Discord because I like to know who's who. If you ever did talk in the Discord, I have no clue. But you see we sniped that TP. Oh boy. I did not break even. I told the group I also did not break even as well. The reason why is it's an A+ setup for me. Oh my goodness. It's an A+ setup for me, so I don't, like 99% of my trades that are A+ setups, I don't break even. And look, it saved me. You see this? It saved me from getting wicked out by not going to break even. 4 restore straight to TP. So I'll look for another trade later today. It's just that the reason why I TP slightly early in NQ, or sorry, ES, because we had a major SMT here with NQ. Probably drew this wrong. But we had a major SMT right here. ES is never, or it did take out that high, but it never took out its actual high up here. So since it never took out that high, I'm not confident holding this trade all until that high. So what I did is I just took this high right here, closest high possible. Anything past just POI right here is a valid TP. Again, I told people in the course members that you can just TP there if you want as well. It's not like a bad trade. About 2 risk reward, it's not like horrible. If you just want to scalp, that's like ideal. Matter of fact, if you're scalping, just go for the 1 risk reward and call it a day. But now if you take if you look at NQ, we just like completely ran pre-stay high in NQ as well. So NQ we completely ran pre-stay high. ES, we are still not at pre-stay high here. And you can expect that to be the draw. I haven't done enough high time frame analysis for today. Today was just very clear to me, but in terms of high time frame, you can expect pre-stay high at some point to get ran. It's really not that far. But there's an SMT, or is that not relevant? What SMT? The bearish SMT? Oh, Hamid, just check the course content. I go through everything in my trading checklist. I have a checklist for all my trades. I have a checklist of confluences, things of that nature. It does not have to Okay, look, we can reverse, but does not have to. We can still, ES can, even if we have SMT, it can still break at some point, meaning ES can still go for the high. I'm not gonna talk too much about my strategy on here, but you guys should get the main gist, right? I've seen this play out multiple times. So I'm hoping everyone's green today. This is the only ES trade I took today. Only one. There's nothing clear. I wasn't on the charts here. So when I got on the charts, it was around here, 9:30 open. And I usually don't like to take a trade immediately at open. I'd like to give it a little bit more time. Is the music volume good? Okay, look, it sounds good. I usually don't like to take a trade at open. I like to give it a bit of time. Unless we're at a very valid POI already straight at open, then that's just a mitigation at open. That's what I call it. But there were obviously nice shorts to short down to at least a POI here, liquidity. If you did take this short, this would have been a very nice short here. Depending on how you wanted to put your stop loss. Could have caught Forest Wood there. For people that still believe previous day high is going to get ran, I would long here. Or sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. It's an idea of longing here to run for the previous day high. If you're confidence in previous day high getting ran on ES as well, since NQ already ran it, but if you're confident in that getting ran on ES is high as well, this would be where you along. Otherwise, because look, NQ is still holding super well. Otherwise, you wait for a mitigation cycle to then go long. You wait for the mitigation cycle. I'm gonna try not to move my screen a lot. I know it's a habit. I move my screen a ton. Try not to do that on stream too much. Where'd the screenshot go? Post my executions. I think they disappeared. Hold on. Let me grab it again. Here's the Discord server message. Here's executions. I also sent the execution like before I even got in the trade. Or sorry, not before I got in the trade, right here. While I was in the trade right here originally. So, I mean, if you're already up for a day and this is the only winner you took and you're cool with Forest Award, you can just call it a day here. You know, quick 1 hour, little 1 hour quick trading session. And just end your day there and come back tomorrow. But those were executions and trades sent to the group right here. Someone asked me this question also today, if the private trading group chat is open just for mentorship students. It's open for either you bought a course or the mentorship. Either one is okay and you get access to the group. But honestly, if you want like one-on-one help, that's just only in a mentorship. I'm probably gonna be raising the price of the mentorship sometime soon. I currently have like a wait list for that, but yeah, don't expect the price to stay the same for that. Because as I get more students for Prime mentorship, it's gonna be more of a time crunch, and so the prices will just go higher. Nature of supply and demand. It used to be, for reference, guys, I think it was last year. Last year, the one-on-one mentorship used to be 2.5K, I believe. but it's at double now. You know, I don't plan on also lowering it, by the way. For those that are wondering the cost of that, I don't plan on lowering that. So either you join in now or you wait until the price goes higher. Just to let you guys know out there, you know, heads up, because I don't want people complaining when they see the price continuously go higher. But yeah, you guys see how perfect that TP was in my head? Yeah, and look, if you took this high, you would have missed the trade. You would have missed your TP, and you would have risked all this unrealized P&L. This is something that is discretional, but it's not discretional in a sense where no one can do it. I mean, you can just choose this mechanical high to TP. It doesn't have to be like this high here. So it's not really, I wouldn't even consider this discretional, to be fair. Again, the only reason why I chose that near high is because we had NQ, or we had SMT with NQ. NQ also took out previous day high already, and ES, it did not. So the odds of ES actually going for that high, actually, it's gonna be lower since we have these other highs before. If we didn't have an SMT with NQ, yes, all this would be, this is the trend on liquidity, but you need context, and the context is that you could get a mitigation cycle before going higher. And honestly, if you go into the higher time frame, I think that's why the pictures disappeared. I go in the higher time frame. Bro, there it is. Okay. Yeah, this thing just duplicates. Where'd it go now? Hold on. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna make it so this is visible on just the minutes. Just the 1 to 5 minute. Okay, perfect. And we can delete these right here. Yep, that's good. Higher time frame analysis. We did sweep liquidity, and we did tap into a 1 hour, but we still do have this in a sense. Hence why shorting wouldn't be like a crazy, like bad idea. It still would be mechanically counter trend, but it's not like a bad idea to short for like a conservative target, or if you're just trying to scalp, you can short. If we do want to also come back and mitigate this. Obviously, when we do trend hard, we tend to just go for the highs. So we'll see. I mean, we won't always go in a straight line. So whoever shorted this, I do see entry model there. So if you shorted this with my entry model, you would have been, you're up probably about 2 risk reward by now. So whoever shorted it after I TP'd at the high with the system I teach, you'd be up good today. You'd be up 6 risk reward. You'd be up 6. And again, you don't ever take these IPGs. The course members should know that. Specifically why I don't take this IPG. You want to wait for this higher one to inverse. It's not singular. At this point, we could sweep this low, and we might actually be able to go back to. I'm actually going to be able to go back to the 1 hour. Right down here. I'll put an alert here on the 1 hour here if we do get there. That will basically be us sweeping a low. Liquidity. It's more liquidity. Tapping into a 5 minute refined POI. If we get there. If we don't get there, you guys can look for trades going long. Or if you're in a short, I guess you would just be TPing right now. But yeah. Again, I try to focus on taking just A+ setups for the most part. Hence why, for example, I did not take this short here. Even though this short did play out perfectly, like to the T, to the TP, it is counter trend to me by mechanical definition. I try to keep things mechanical here. So that's a B setup to me. I try not to take those. If you guys have any general questions about trading, let me know. Oh, audio recommendations. If you guys have any recommendations for music, because yeah, I do need that. Anything that's not copyright, because last time I got a claim on my stream, which is so dumb. It was like 30 claims on one stream because the stream was like 4 hours long. I had to take down the stream, or I don't think I had to take it down. I had to basically mute all the audio, so no audio, because I had to like watch it or rewatch it. So dumb. Where is this? Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for to set my thumbnail for the stream. Trying to find where it went. There it is. So you don't take this, and now you can take this long if you want off this entry here. If we do come back. All this music is copyright. You can't use this. Mohammed asked for the course it will stay $400 till July, right? Yeah, for the most part, it should. I'll have it auto change, if I can find that feature, but it should automatically change to the newer higher price by the end of this month. So yeah, this month is the last time for you guys to get the course at 400 or 399 to be specific. After that, you can expect prices of everything to go up, and I don't plan on ever selling lower than the lowest I've sold, which is like $399. Let's see what NQ is doing. Did take out previous day high in NQ. Okay, that ES long is not going to be as good anymore here, and the reason why, look at NQ. NQ did not really respect the stop under setup. It's going to for sure go lower here to at least here for these PYs. On the 5 minute, it looks a lot more clear for these 5 minute PYs that I have indicators marking out. What that means for ES is, unless ES holds here, we could probably see ES take out this low or this low. But yeah, typically I don't like to long a lot once we do take out like high time frame liquidity, like previous day high. Now previous day high is like counter trend. If you're taking previous day lows sweeps, that's like an A+ setup to go long. And I also took, oh, for those wondering, I took a few trades on gold last night as well. So we go to gold. I'm up about 2.6, 2.665. So I'm up about 2.6K on every account of mine today. That's including the gold trade from last night, which I took. If I can find it real quick. I was basically longing gold. That's basically the gist. I was longing gold. So on gold, I was basically just longing gold here. And then obviously I split my risk at times between different accounts. So I would trade like different batches. If you don't know, I'll keep so instead of copy trading, let's say like 20 accounts at once, I'd trade them in batches in terms of, for example, 10 and 10 to mitigate risk. Just a little bit. It's not anything crazy, but that's just an example. So like, for example, some setups I'll take on half of the accounts, and then other setups I would just take on the other half. So for example, let's say what I like to do usually is, let's say I lose a trade, which is not often. I usually don't lose trades too often. My win rate's 65% on average across like thousands of trades taken so far. But basically, if I, let's say, lose a trade on account or a batch of counts, let's say it's 10, then I just switch over to the next batch to take the next trade. Because you can't lose 2 in a row, right? Anyone's prone to losing 2 in a row. So I'd rather mitigate the risk and, just have it on the other accounts. So that's one way you guys can manage your risk if you trade funded accounts. And of course, personal, it's obviously I take these trades just on the personal, like how you should trade a personal. But lower risk though, my personal. It's usually like half a percent. I don't risk high on my personal account. There's no need to. There's just no need to. So it's literally impossible for me to blow my personal account. It's literally impossible. I'd have to lose 200 trades in a row. I don't think y'all know, like, the odds, even with a bad strategy, losing 200 consecutively is like near impossible. So I'm completely chilling on my on my personal. But first setup was stop hunter setup, and does something in the course. And I go over specific examples of when to use them, when not to. If you want about executions, I always send them. Literally, it's in the group. If you join, also in the free server, I'll send them from time to time. What was this right here? This was, I believe, this was this setup right here. If I'm not mistaken. I have to check timestamp, but you guys can check the price if you want. That is that setup right there. And then these were just taken later by me. I was just looking for continuations. Using time theory here, it's easy continuations. These are easy continuations. The main reason for this trade is very straightforward, guys. This is super mechanical. Like, you can't really mess up trading my strategy system once you learn it. Like, there's not much prone to error. This is a 1 hour demand. And once we reach 1 hour demand, we have that typical sweep I talk about all the time that occurs in high time POIs and does not invalidate this high time for POI. This does not invalidate this POI. And so we had trendline liquidity. That was basically my target right there for a trendline liquidity. And then I just basically look for continuations further across. Basically look for continuations. Very straightforward. And then here's my exit on one of the longs up here. I think I exited a little bit early, 3336.3. No, sorry, my TP was further. My TP was up here. I drew it wrong on TradingView. So it was about like a 4 to 5 risk 4 trade. So these are the two trades here. And then this one was another trade here. This one, it depends on how you want to manage this trade. It would have been a TP if you just take the normal way at TP and from my backtest in the course on the stop hunter setup. That would just be a TP there as well. But again, it just depends on how you want to manage your trades. And I manage them differently from time to time, but I keep it mechanical so you guys can follow along. I should probably label this. I mean, I don't really journal really per se too much anymore because it's just a numbers game for me at this point. I'm just playing. It's literally like going to, okay, I don't want to say, I'm not trying to compare trading to going to casino, but like, it's just you're just rolling the dice. You're just rolling the dice and probabilities. I already know my probabilities ins and out of my system. I've literally mastered this system, been training for several years. There's not much to really change. Now this system has for sure changed over time. It's definitely not the same system from a year and a half ago, but the general foundation stays the same. It's just you add more things to the system that can help filter out losing trades, have a higher win rate, have higher risk reward, and then you can just optimize from there. So those were my gold trades during Asia, for those that are wondering. So you want to add these up, it's like 12 from the ES trade. But let's see. What is NQ doing? So NQ did not go back to 50% of, did it? Oh, I guess it did. It did go back to 50%. Now, depending on where you draw 50%, if you draw down here, it did not come back to discount. If it drew from here to here, it did come back to discount. Now, how would I draw it personally? I talk about this in the course, but this would be the proper way to draw it because of what happened at this high. So if you know, you know. But me personally, I'm just not a huge fan of taking something this close to a 50% level. I prefer price does come back down here, but I do understand we have inducement here. So because we have inducement there, we have new range, we can respect that. I just, for the most part, you probably won't see me really take trades like, for example, taking this setup here, going up here. But not saying this is not a valid setup, I'm just saying you likely won't be seeing me taking these too often. I'd be taking a stop hunter setup, which would have been here. And stop loss would have been placed wherever you want. So this would have been a stop hunter setup for me to go long. And then you manage your risk. But for people trading my main setup, it would not, I mean, it's just not the best in terms of like how high up in the leg you are to trade my main setup. And you can see ES gave you that entry. So whoever took this, you already have 1-to-1 risk reward. If you're trying to ask me like where do you want to really target if I was trading this, you would just target this high here. Because we do have this high that still hasn't get ran yet. And we don't have anything. Oh, okay, never mind. That's why it's good to switch time frames. We have a 5-minute here that's holding currently, or price is reacting from it, which is very normal. But if we can break that candle high, we should be able to expect higher prices right here, because that's a seconds break. Again, I talk about this in the course mentorship. You can literally read the seconds time frame without ever seeing the seconds. You just use 1-minute candles. So if we break that high, we can likely see price going higher. It should ideally run these two highs up here. So whoever's taking this setup, this is a setup. Now, what would I rate this setup? I would be honest with you guys. This is not going to be an A+ to me. As in, it won't be the same quality A+ as this long here. Like, this is A+, A+, right? Too many confluences in this trade for not to be. This, if I would rate this trade, okay, so it's not too bad. I'd rate this probably like an A, since we're pro trend. You're trading pro trend. So I'd probably say this is an A. The only thing is, if you go on NQ, it's just because of where NQ is so high up in a leg for me personally, it would reduce the probabilities of the trade a bit. But if you just took a stop hunter, you know, that's a fine trade setup. So Whatever you guys are taking, man. But this to me would just be like basing A setup. So you could short it here, right there with my entry model, TP it here, and then you long this, and then you can TP at the 5 minute or TP at the highs. Like, this is so simple, guys. This is you're literally just like train reversal after reversal after reversal in the market. These are internal reversals, not external. Except for this short would be external reversal, but all these are pro trend reversals. We're not reversals, pro trend, external pro trend setups. Bro, there's Discord streaming on a premium section, right? If you're sorry, I'm talking a little bit fast. I need to get used to talking a bit slower for y'all. The Discord screenshots. So this, yes, this is within the premium group where I send the trade ideas and such. This is in the Discord group that I send like while I'm in the trade and such. I talk over it. So for people that are taking the same exact setup, which you should be, since you learned the exact same strategy in the course and mentorship, you should be taking the exact same trade. There's nothing discretionary here for taking this trade. If you say so, then I don't know what to tell you, man. There's literally no way you can mess this up. This is 100% pinpoint accuracy in terms of the entry in taking the trade. This is an A+ setup. It's literally a checklist that I give to you, to the course members, and all you do is just use that checklist, go off of it, and just trade. That's it. But yeah, this is course members only chat. And then this here is this executions I sent out to everyone in the free Discord that is under profits for the most part. Usually I send my trades in the profits, but it's not sending the trades like live in a sense, as in while they're playing out. I'm saying just executions of proof that took the trades. So if you want something that's more live, something that's more like interactive, you can ask questions while you're in the same trade, things of that nature. That's where the course comes in. You get access to this exclusive group, which I think honestly, hence why I'm gonna be raising the price soon for the course. I just think the value I'm providing is too much for the price I'm offering compared to like any other traders out there. I think that what I'm offering is just much higher value. Like I could be charging 1,000, but I'm not for the course right now. I want to try to get a decent sized group first of people that are really interested in trading, like they have a passion for trading, not just money. Hence why you don't see me showing off stuff on this YouTube channel for the most part. I tend to keep everything very educational if I can, which hope I've been doing for you guys. But yeah, basically, you know, the course will be going up in price next month. I haven't decided on the exact price, but I do have a ballpark range, and it will be like around double. So if you want to get in, you get in now. Same with the mentorship pricing. That's not going to be going down. Again, like I said, I want to get like a good size, solid group of people. Because the thing is, with a group of people trading, some people don't take trading as seriously, or maybe their schedule doesn't work well with trading. So it may take them longer to learn everything and such. So I just want like a good sample size of people in the group to the point where like we can have at least, preferably, I'd say like 50% of the group like full-time trading. I think that would be really sick, honestly. We get 50% of the group full-time trading. That's a really high success rate, because that's not just like profitability. That's like full-time, like where you quit your job and you're training literally full-time like me. So I'm not talking about just being profitable. Being profitable is one thing, but quitting your main source of income and using this as your main source of income is a whole different ball game. Whole different level. It's not easy for sure, but it is easy once you have a grasp and understanding of my system. And you just practice. It's just practice and screen time. You don't even need some crazy amount of screen time. Like again, this is just very mechanical. Take these trades. There's just no way you can mess it up. Like the entry models are so mechanical. There's literally no way to not take them. But we'll see if this 5 minute holds here. It ideally shouldn't be holding, is my assumption. or anticipation here because we did fail. We failed once already on the seconds. Now, if we fail again and take out this high, there's nothing else here that's unmitigated. So we should just be safe to run the highs. Go on NQ. We're delivering good on NQ so far. We have inverse that as well, so that's good to see on NQ. If you're interested in indicators, they're all on my WAP as well. For those that are wondering like what indicators I'm using and such. But I'm gonna delete this alert here just because I do believe it's gonna be lower likely we do come back down there if we're going to take out the high. This would be considered the second, probably the third break up, so we could consider see something like this, but it's a little far away for now for where price is currently. So we'll stick to the current ranges of price. Saito-sen said something. Message retracted. I'm not sure what happened. So let's see. Did anyone else take these longs, by the way? Want to know if anyone else took these longs. We've been having really good price action in April so far. Or sorry, not April. What am I saying? June. You catch a long in gold? Yeah, I caught which long? There's so many long opportunities on gold. Here, wait, this is Brian, right? Yeah, it is Brian. Gotcha. I just remember from the profile picture, this is Brian. Yeah. So Brian, Brian's a member in the course, by the way, for those wondering. Saito-san, that's him, but that's asking a question if I caught the longs. These are the longs I took on gold, Brian. And then here's executions on each one. So these are basically the main gold setups. A long to 345, 345. Oh, sweet. Damn. You caught basically the whole move. Or wherever you entered. You exited at the peak time, basically. Once we enter this high time frame PY right here. But that high time frame supply is not going to hold likely. You'd still get a nice reaction on lower time frame, but understanding time frames fractally, the high time frame is bullish, so we hit high time frame demand. And if we go between high time frame demand, I was talking to this to a private mentorship student, but if we go between like high time frame PYs, whichever one is with the pro trend is going to less likely hold. Doesn't mean you can't take a trade off of it though. So yeah, I mean these are just basically the steps I took on gold. Gold was easy money last night, Asia session, easy money. And this went into a little bit of London, tiny bit. Not yet, still Asia technically. But yeah, easy money longs on gold after we hit that 1 hour POI. I did not cash the initial entry here though, unfortunately. Now this is like amazing delivery to this POI, but I just wasn't on the charts, so I was not able to cash this. But whoever took my entry model here, dude, and if you just held to the higher time frame POI, that's literally 8.59 risk reward. Insane. Whoever caught that bottom on gold with my entry model is insane. You would have just been done for a week there if you wanted to. People make that in a month. But the delivery here is the A+. Like you guys, for the course members, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the impulse model delivery. This is A+ delivery. This is when we want to be taking reversals, when we have huge momentum like this. People get scared when they see huge momentum. When in reality, to us, it's the complete opposite. You shouldn't be scared at all. You should in fact be brave, even more brave to take the trade. Momentum is not what people think of on trading, guys. People preach things that are not true. It's also why there's a lot of people that fail in trading too. They don't learn the right type of information. If you guys haven't liked, if you could also leave a like on the stream. I know there's not too many people watching today. Even though this should be prime time, but it's cool with me. Been streaming for about 45-ish minutes so far. This is gonna be my 5th stream on the channel. Fifth stream on the channel. Nah, you're good. Yeah, I know you be driving. Hey, yo, you be driving while trading? It's like not drunk driving, but like, yo, that should be like a new law. Driving while trading. Driving under the influence of, I don't even know. DWT, driving while trading. S. S is not Sebastian, right? I think I went over this last time. I don't think S is the Sebastian in the course. Wouldn't you take the OB Intra model there when price came? No. S, no. If you're S, are you in the group? If you're not, I explained the exact reason why in the course. So get the course this month while you still can at the current price. I'm not gonna be. It's gonna go up next month if you haven't seen my announcement for the price. No, this is not ideal entry here. So you wouldn't be taking this loss here. I explained in the course why. And it's something very repeatable that happens all the time. Happens all the time at these POIs. Especially at high time frame POIs. This happens all the time. So no, you don't take this loss, you just take this long here. And if you want to wait for more structural confirmation, you can. I wouldn't have. I would have just taken this, but I wasn't on the chart at this time. So, you know, there's enough structural confirmation in terms of delivering at least. And I just took continuations. Literally just internal continuations here using time theory. Straight continuations. And very straightforward, really simple. Like you could even, I don't want to say this, you can blindly long this, but like that's not going to work for most of price if you don't understand time theory. It won't work. You'll just get stopped out. So you do need something mechanical enough to replicate. Okay, so we only swept the 5-minute POIs seconds once. We didn't sweep it twice. If you go on NQ, there it is. So you guys see how I was talking about how this is just like not something I would ever really take. It's just because it's too high up in the leg. This is too high up in the leg. We have a lot of imbalance here. I prefer we go down here first. But if you took on ES, actually if you took on NQ, you can still TP. Like this is still, if you took that long, you still would have made money if you just TP'd there. It just depends on where your price targets are, you know? Yeah, I made a video discussing this. There's conservative versus aggressive traders. So like conservative traders, you just TP here. Well, this is very conservative here. Or yeah, this is conservative. Aggressive would be up here. So whatever you want to trade in terms of your trading style, whatever you prefer. I change it based on confluences in the rating of the setup. This is an A+ setup, so I'm willing to take more aggressive TPs, and it played out for Fortress Sword. So again, if you guys just joined the stream, this is the only trade I took on ES today, and I had a few trades in gold from last night. Not trade gold New York session. Again, 8th session is like really good for gold. You guys are not on that wave yet. A lot of people hate on 8th session, but it's just like you just have to trade the right pair. If you're trading gold, then you're chilling. 8th session, you are chilling. Because look how, I mean, nice this internal continuation is here on gold. I want to see how the course members are doing. Let's see. I think someone else in the course took along as well on NQ. If I'm looking here on the chat. Anart? Oh, I can't see the entire name because I'm in streamer mode. Gotcha. But one of the course members gave me a thumbs up, so I'm assuming they also took the long, and they took it on NQ likely. Oh, you guys can see the thumbs up in that screenshot. Yeah, but yeah, I'm hoping he did take the setup. If he took an NQ, you would have banked, man. absolutely banked in NQ. You use my IFG indicator here for the entry confirmation. There it is. And then if you just target pre-stay high, or whatever high you want, banked. If you want to take an internal continuation with my model, you can take it here for 5 risk reward. If you missed the initial setup, but again, like I tell you guys, it's better to have the initial entry always. You get more space to manage your trades to break even and such. You're already running in profit, so if you just have a conservative TP with a TP, it's not ideal or wise to get into trades too late. So again, people that did take this trade, if you just scalped, you would have just made money there. It would have just been a trade there. And I have been contemplating on paid trading. I don't like the word signals, but paid live trading. And oh, nice. Okay, so you're watching a stream. Sick. I have been contemplating on paid live streaming or trading. So one of our course members did take this as well. Here's my alert. London session got taken out on gold. And look at this, guys. This is, I can't make this up. Like, do you guys see how precise this is? London session low got swept, which is one of my confluences. Using my session indicator, so you don't have to do any work. You just get the alert. And you see this long right here? We have an entry model right here with my entry model in the course. And boom. I mean, this is literally like A+. Again, this is another A+ setup. All this liquidity up here is just going to get ran because we hit the target here. So whoever took this long in gold, you would have banked absolutely insane on this long here if you held all the way towards London session high. That would have been an insane setup, but no, I unfortunately did not take this. I was just focused on ES and NQ, so yeah. It's also harder to manage a personal account while trading batches of funded accounts and talk to the private group at once. So I've been limiting the number of pairs I trade at once. So mainly just NQ, ES, gold right now. But that does not mean my strategy does not work on the past pairs. It works on everything. Yeah, I took. Sweet. So one of our course members, just shout out him on the stream. And he said, yeah, I took. So he took exactly what I showed here. Is this on 1 minute? Yeah, this is the 1 minute. Damn. Okay, so he basically got a better entry. And he basically got a nice TP. He got a continuation. There it is, guys. Proof in the pudding. I don't know what else to say, man. Pure banking with the strategy. You can literally make 100 risk reward a month with the strategy if you trade everything right and you be disciplined. Hence, that's also another reason why I will be changing the price as well. I'll be upping it because I don't think there's any other strategy on YouTube with proven results like this that can make you that much in a month. And who knows? I mean, maybe in the future I'll just shut it down completely. But I want to build like a solid group of people, a good solid group of community first. So, hence why I'm offering right now. If you guys are basically the new people to the community, so OG members will get it at the best price. No, I won't be charging 100K. There's some dude on Twitter. I'm gonna make a video on this soon. I thought it was funny. Some dude on Twitter is charging 100K or 133K to be specific for one-on-one trading mentorship. Absolutely insane. No matter how good you are trading, I would never charge 133K or 6 figures. That's just insane to me. But 10K is a possibility in the near future for the mentorship. So again, if you guys want that, I have one spot. You can either join the wait list or secure that one spot right now. But other than that, not much else there for the mentorship in terms of availability. Again, I keep it very small. I don't really have too many people in terms of I don't accept a lot of people. It's just whoever it's a good fit and willing to, you know, really put in the work. Otherwise, I don't like working with lazy people. It's just not worth my time. It's not going to be worth your money if you're lazy, you know. So how much risk reward is this? This is, so A took about 3, 4, 7, I mean literally 7 risk reward in a day. If you don't think 100 risk reward in a month is possible, you are looking at the wrong things on the chart, man. 7 times 20, there's actually 20 trading days in a month. That's 140 risk reward, guys. I made about 130 risk reward last month, and that was during bad price action where we were chopping up. A lot of people were actually red, but if you know how to treat price like I do, the system, you won't be the guy ending red. I promise you. Sean, sorry. 3 plus 4 risk rewards. Yeah, 7 risk reward. I mean, literally, guys, 7 risk reward in a single day. Literally in a single day. If you're on a 4x 100k account, that's 7k in a single day, and all you're paying is like $500. So like, let's say the account fee. So you literally make back your money trading my strategy within a single day. I kid you not. S, doesn't price have to mitigate weak PY for your stop hunter setup? I go over that in the course, and I'm not gonna obviously show everything in my system here for free. It wouldn't be fair to people that paid, so join up if you haven't. But I will say, I think I give like a maybe like 25% on YouTube, but to try to help people get on like the right foundation at least. And then once you have the right foundation, you just join the course. It'll be so much easier for you to just learn everything. But there's not much of a difference in terms of if you just get the course now, you just learn everything anyway. Also, after opening my eyes to the way you see the charts, I can't unsee anymore. Crazy how I used to think before the course. I appreciate it, Brian. Yeah, man, people just don't, I think there's a lot of people don't have enough experience trading. Either that or they're not actually like trading when they're trading. They're focused too much on their P&L, hence they miss out on a lot of small details, which is what I've been journaling for literally my entire trading career. And by journaling my entire trading career, I spot these small little things, and once these things add up, it gives you a high win rate and high risk reward. The price changes at the end of this month. Yeah, it does change at the end of this month. It'll be probably double. So the course is gonna be doubled. The mentorship pricing will be also going up, but I haven't decided how much higher for that yet. But I do have one spot open for mentorship. I'm gonna fix the price right now, actually, since if I gotta do that. But it will probably go up about 2k for next month, but we'll see. Again, there's people selling. I still can't believe there's some dude selling a mentorship for 133k. Like, what is wrong with them? Because here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand this, but half of trading is you, the other half is me. What that means is I can guarantee you my strategy works. Like, that's a guarantee. So whenever you pay me, buy anything from me, I can guarantee you in terms of objective results that the strategy works. And you can make 100 risk reward in a single month. But I cannot guarantee that you will be disciplined to stick to it. So if you're just taking random trades, then you're not even trading my system anymore. So that's the main thing that people need to understand about trading. If I was able to somehow make you a robot and I don't know, somehow force you to have perfect discipline, then yes, I could say I can guarantee you profitability joining. But again, discipline is not your discipline. Your self-discipline is not something I can control at all. That's completely on you. Like, let's say even if you were watching me live stream and being patient, you may not be patient yourself. You may just start going and taking some random trades yourself. So again, discipline is the one thing that you need to worry, or not worry. One thing you need to improve on yourself. I have a psychology course in it, or a psychology section in the course, which teaches you guys how to have that professional trader mindset. And I truly think that helps a lot with psychology, but it's not bulletproof. The only bulletproof thing is the strategy in terms of it being profitable. And actually, okay, so what is the Severos asks, what is the difference between the mentorship and course? Give me 1 second before I answer that question. Let me put this in the chat. I'm gonna put you guys the Discord server because some people may not know about it. It's completely free, so you guys can just join and check out some of the profits and such. Proof if you need to. I mean, live streaming I think is the biggest proof possible, but if you want something more, you can check the free Discord. And if you want the website link and you don't want to type it in, I can just show you that. Actually, I'll just send you the direct link if you guys just want to the WAP. Just go straight there. So, yeah, there's a Discord link and there is the WAP link for those that are interested in joining. Again, last month for the discounted price. Last month. And my plan and idea is once we get like about half of the group full time, the price will either be extremely high for the group, like extremely high, or I'll just close the group entirely. So we have a solid team and community, and people can just learn from each other as well. I mean, some people might even have like certain things they journal that I missed out on. Even though I'd say for the most part, I have like refined everything in my system, but some people may even have some stuff in their journal that maybe I missed, and they could, we can all help each other out. But for the most part, I just want like a really solid community. Try to get at least 50% of people going full time. That's like my biggest goal. I think that's a low, I'd say a high percentage compared to like most people, because I could say like 80% profitable, or 80% of people profitable, but like that's not the same as 50% full time. 50% full time is much more difficult than getting 80% consistently profitable. Because when you trade, in terms of psychology, when you trade without like a stable, in a sense, full time income, that makes sense. Psychology, your discipline is gonna be off, but your technical analysis will stay the same. Now, here's one thing that people don't realize: when your discipline and psychology is off, you start focusing too much on your P&L, and you get this thing where you stop analyzing your chart. As in, you either start overthinking trades, or you just essentially, basically you just start zoning out in a sense. You ignore everything that you're seeing on the chart. You don't have anything you're supposed to be looking at. You are just trying to take random trades, and that's when there's no analysis at all involved, and that's bad. So there it is. NQ finally mitigated the PY I was looking for, man, right here. I was calling it earlier, again saying this is low probability. You want this mitigation. So anyone that took this trade right now, you'd be in profit already off this setup here. Not much actually if you just took the IFG. If you took a fair value gap, you would have been in, but yeah, however you want to manage that trade. ES held, which is very nice. You guys see this ES held, so we could just see this high getting ran right now on ES. So that's a potential trade idea if anyone wants to take it. I'm not taking this personally. I think I'll probably just be done for the day today in terms of my personal trading, but this doesn't mean there's not going to be good setups. It just means I took a really good A+ setup earlier in the day, and I'm satisfied with that. But this would be an A setup right here. So it's an A setup for you guys. I want to take it. And also, I'm already up a lot risk reward for the day too, because Asia session, if you guys just joined, I took some really nice gold longs. So about 8ish risk reward there. So I'm already up a lot on my accounts. There's no need for me to get too greedy at this point, knowing that a lot of people don't make even this risk reward in a week. So I don't like to get too greedy. Try to keep yourself emotionally stable. Because this was another thing I mentioned with one of my mentorship students on last night, Private 101, in a call, and that is the longer you stay on the chart or the more trades you take, there's more prone and error to making emotional mistakes. People think I am a robot that makes no emotional mistakes. No, you can see even in screenshots, like from yesterday on gold, I literally sent out the screenshot. I took a kind of a impulse entry, not impulse model entry. I took a FOMO kind of entry on gold, and that bit me. I got stopped out. Good thing, of course, is my stop outs are always only -1 RR, so it's not like a bad loss at all. But the point is, if I just stuck to my plan, I wouldn't have taken that initial loss anyway on gold. And again, you guys can just check the free Discord. I already posted the loss in the profits group. I said I got stopped out by a tick. Literally by a tick, like no joke. I literally got stopped out by a tick and then it went in my direction. But, it's okay. Because I waited for my setup again and I just took my stop under setup and it played out. So, the example of making emotional mistakes, hence why if I have taken a lot of good setups, I'm up a lot of risk reward on the day. I don't want to, even if this is an A+ setup, you can, but for me, I just know I'm more prone to making emotional mistakes if I continue trading too much. But this is a good setup. Like I tell you guys, this is an A+ setup. So if I want to, I'll just draw on the chart here. This is A+. If I was rating this is an A setup that you would have hit TP already if you TP'd at the 5-minute PY for a 1-to-1. I personally don't scalp too often for the most part. I like to go for high risk reward, but not a good idea to take on a Q. I explained why. Again, you can literally go watch back in the live stream, really call this out. I said this is just a lower probability PY that I just don't like, again, taking a PY this high up in the leg. And you see, you avoid either, in this case, technically you could just be a break even, or just this could literally just be a winning trade too if you TP here. So it really depends how you manage your trades in terms of TP. Like you can take the same entry, same stop loss, but where you TP would obviously determine if it's a winner or a loser, But if you do close out too early, you will sometimes miss out on trades where it runs like 4 risk reward like this, which I catch. And you guys can see how exactly it went to a tick to where you would have, a lot of people would break even. I don't break even here for A+. So your proof of concept here is working. And this is through thousands of trades, 4,000 plus of trading refinement. And hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. Because I remember my first year of trading, the amount of time and effort I spent, I lost a lot of money. But once you get that breakthrough month, trust me guys on this, once you get that breakthrough month, if you're trading funded accounts, I start off with a personal and then later switched to funded, and I got a ton of payouts and then put all those payouts, or not all of them, but a portion of them into the personal, and then I just grow from there. And then now you can just trade both personal and fundeds. Fundeds to me is just like an extra source of income to me. It's just something on top, right? It's not going to be my main source of income. My main thing that makes me the most is still my personal account. But, with the system, I'm still able to, you can literally still make a living easily off the funded accounts. You don't even need a personal. But I would recommend people that do want to go full time at some point to have a personal, just in case. Because I mentioned this again. I won't mention it or last stream. I won't mention it again. But I have been banned at Prop Firm for being too profitable. They never told me, obviously, in the email, like saying they're not going to tell me you're too profitable, you got too many payouts, we're going to ban you. They just banned me. And I sent emails and never responded back. And they always come up with some kind of excuse. So, it is what it is. I'm not too stressed or really pressed over it. It's not a big deal to me. But just something to bring to light for those that are wondering, like, why it may not be entirely sustainable over the long run. Because when you get too many payouts and such, you will get banned. Or sorry, I shouldn't say will, but a lot higher chance you'll get banned. Because people don't know, but most firms, they lose money when they pay you out. That's their business model. So hence why, like, there's people that teach and also have a prop firm, which to me makes no sense. Because if your students are profitable and they join your prop firm, you're just gonna lose money if your system actually works and has an edge. So like me, obviously, I would never open my own prop firm, even though I could just make some connections. I have the money to obviously start up, but why would I want to lose money from my own students if they trade my prop firm? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know why some people have that kind of system going on, but you know, to each their own. Course, you learn it yourself. Mentorship is getting spoon-fed. Yeah, for the most part, what Brian said. The mentorship, I think what a lot of people find helpful in that is you basically get one-on-one direct access to me whenever you want. In a sense, you can just always, my DMs are always open. I'll respond quite fast for the most part. You get specific trade feedback on all your trades, valid losses, invalid losses, any trades you take. Like, I'll literally tell you mechanical reasons as to why I would or would not take that trade, confluences, all these kind of things. You literally get personalized feedback on all your trades. And of course, you know, my goal at the end of the 6 weeks is to get you consistently profitable and at least a payout by 6 weeks. And also you get the private trading journal, again, which I review with you on call weekly to go over your trades, things of that nature. It's just a way more personalized way of tailoring the system to your schedule and your needs. And sometimes people notice there will be some things that I do mention in the mentorship that I don't mention in the course. Russ, DST asked, what's your risk management? Any daily loss limit? Okay, so for me, how I view probabilities, especially with my win rate and risk reward, I usually don't go into like major drawdown in a day, because 80 to 85% of my days end green statistically anyway. But like, if you mean like daily loss, I don't really have a specific loss like limit in terms of like number of trades or percentage. But that's up to your risk tolerance for the most part. I like to just focus on trading my system and let probabilities play out. In my opinion, that's the best system, but again, the people that have these limits on daily loss, I think there's two reasons. One reason is for psychology benefits, right? Because, you know, the more you tilt, the more trades you lose, the more likely you're going to tilt. And if you have a limit, you can at least avoid or limit the tilting, right? If that makes sense. Now, if another reason is also bad market conditions, but that's something you can like look at the chart and notice without needing a daily loss limit, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if you lose 3 trades or 4 trades or 5 trades in a row in a single day, maybe your system, if your system's already proven profitable, it's not your system's fault. It's likely either you're not adapting or the conditions are just bad, the price action is just delivering against your strategy, and you should just, like, you know, log off for the day. That's something you don't need a daily limit to tell you, because you're going to see on the chart when we have bad price action, right? Like, for example, I don't mind any of this once it delivers, because we had very nice delivery here. I got my entry, I just let it run to my TP, that's it. Nothing crazy there. So again, anyone in the trade right now on that's longing, just curious, we just hit the OB mitigation for NQ to go higher, and ES is currently running in profit still. If you did not TP earlier, you're still up about 1 risk reward at the time right now. Again, this is an A sub to me, but we'll see how NQ, you know, reacts, since it did take out pretty stay high. But, you know, ES I can foresee sometime today taking out pretty stay high. It's not too far, but it depends on volatility, and that's not something I can control, you know. It's only like something I can potentially anticipate based on how much volatility we have in the past, like 3 hours ish or 2 hours, and it's a good enough volatility in terms of range size to actually hit pretty stay high. It's just a question of will we hit it within today. We still have, I mean, 4 hours, so it's definitely a higher chance, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. If you're on a prop firm though, for risk management, of course, you should probably have a daily loss for the most part, because your drawdown's gonna be a lot less. But with my system, it's pretty rare to even have like 4 losses in a row from my trading so far. If you just go back to my track record from past streams I did, past 4 streams I did, I taking trades live, and then, or one of the streams was a trade recap stream, I believe. The other 3 were trades taken live in live time, and then if you go in the trade recaps and such that I do once in a while on YouTube, I post most of them in the course, but once in a while I'll post like 1 or 2 on YouTube for free. But most times I don't really get like big losing streaks with my system, especially if you manage your trades aggressively with your break even that I trade or teach you guys. It's not easy to go in these big losing streaks. So I personally don't have one, but you can have a limit if you want. I'm just answering a student question right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Someone's asking something. All right, so we've been chopping up for about an hour here. This isn't usually something I consider my back test. I wouldn't consider this new value just yet. It is starting to definitely look like it. For those that know what that is, you know. But we'll see. NQ is delivering bearish now, but let's see if it hits. So if you used my stop loss reduction method, you would have taken basically a break even here on NQ right there. So we basically, the main thing is we want to see if NQ can hold this low. If it still holds and respects this low, we can at least go to the 5 minute here, or at least take out this inducement here. But for the most part, I don't really consider this here. Even though it is inducement, it should just go to the 5 minute. Again, that's if we maintain this low here on NQ. And if you're already taking profits on this long here, like at the 5 minute, there's no setup for you to take here. There's no setup for you to take here. Otherwise, it would be basically like a FOMO kind of trade where you enter here, up here, and have a wide stop loss. And also harder to manage, right? If you enter here now long, you can't break even. It's kind of impossible to break even. If you're entered here initially, you have so many different times you could have just went break even. Again, this is an A setup to me. You can, for A setups in A plus, usually I don't break even. I usually, when I say A plus, I usually am trying to also say A. But honestly, it's kind of like repetitive to say that. So, okay, this trade is still running, guys. If you guys are in the trade, it's 3 risk reward. Let's see what NQ is doing. NQ did a sweep, and I think we had a miniature SMT with ES there, and it's holding. So it's holding nicely right now. This is the reaction we want. We want to ideally see this high get taken out soon, and then if we get the high taken out soon, we can mitigate the 5 minute. And once we mitigate the 5 minute, this is where you decide you want to TP or not. If you don't want to TP, target is gonna be at least this next high, which is for next target, and then this high here. I don't see this PYs is too far, man. So I do see us, if we want to go higher, we should be ideally holding this PY right here. We should be. ES is holding nicely right now. Again, whoever took this trade, let me know. Let me know. Unless you're already done for the day, or you know you're just watching, that's cool too. This is a 3 risk reward trade, so it would have been at least a 7 risk reward day. Like, price action has been amazing this month so far. On these amazing months, you can't even get more than 100 risk reward. potentially get 200, but I don't want to I usually don't like to say that out there because people get greedy, and I don't want people to have this expectation of 200. 100 is already good enough. DST asks, how much risk reward you had May month? About 130. It's about 130 risk reward last month. And that was bad conditions too, so keep that in mind. In good conditions, like so far at least, this past week in June, on good conditions, you can make up to 200. But again, it does depend on other factors like how many sessions you trade, trade frequency, what types of setups you're taking, all sorts of things. But the range is still like really high risk reward. DST, check if you're in a free Discord, you can check some of the trades I send in the free chat once in a while, but otherwise you have to check the private group, the private trading group. Guys, remember that you will either have to give the money up with losses, teach yourself, or you can pay someone to help you and show you the right way. I buy this course and I still study every day, minimum 3 hours. Yeah, this is the right mindset to have. It's better to pay someone to teach you properly than for you to just lose money not knowing what you're doing in the market, right? Like, it's much better. I wish if I could go back in time, I would have just instantly found, if I could find the right person to teach me, I would have done that instead of losing my own money in the beginning. Again, this trade is running nicely, guys, if you're in profit. If you expect this to be new value, new range, which I'd say at this point, you can definitely consider this new value because we're creating pretty structural mitigations here. It's only an hour. Usually new value will be a little bit longer to take, but we are creating new ranges here that could price. So if you TP'd here, that's about 1.69. If you want to hold the TP for the high, that's 3 risk reward. So up to you how you want to manage this trade here, but it's a winner. Saul says show broker statements. So I'm not a fan of mixing my personal finance with random people online to the public. So I'm not ever gonna be doing that. And also another thing is broker statements just are sketchy in general. Anything I'd say, even payouts, all these things are just sketchy because you can fake them. All these things you can fake. There's literally Photoshop nowadays. You can, like, all these people that show broker statements, trade Zella journal, or like payouts, you can just fake them. And with payouts, you can also what's it called? There's people, I'm not gonna make this assumption because it is kind of out there, but there might be people partnering with firms, for example, and they would essentially, you know, have this partnership and they can just like fake payouts. So I'm not a fan of thinking that's the legit way. I think the only legit way is to live trade. I literally think live trading is like the legit way to show proof. Again, I mean, I have backtest everything, literally the data with the live trading as well to show that what I teach does work if you're willing to put in the time and effort. Guys, if you're in this trade, I mean, if you're on the stream, this is already a long I called out on stream. So I'm hoping you guys are taking advantage of these streams that I'm literally giving out for free right now because this is literally money to be made if you're on the stream. Otherwise, if you're just like gonna comment, honestly, and you're not like learning anything from these streams, I just don't think that's a good way of approaching trading. I mean, you're missing out on money here. You're also just commenting, and this it's just not, it's not helping you, man. Here to teach you guys how to trade. Did any of you guys take any other trades today? Because I know a member took the 2 longs. And again, new value being created here. If you TP there, you would have been just green on that. Let's see what NQ is doing. NQ, we're just creating internal structure here. Time-wise, not too bad on NQ. You can switch time frames as well if you see mitigate anything. I don't see anything mitigated on the other time frames. Sorry, I don't know why I went to 12 minute there. So don't really see any other setups right now. This long right now with the TPs would have been the only A plus or A setup so far today, except for the A plus earlier. All right, so I'm gonna put you in timeout because I feel like calling someone a fraud is a pretty big statement, and that's not something you should really call someone without any evidence. Pretty bold statement too. I wouldn't want that here, so. But feel free, man. Again, I'm making you free money here, so I just think based on your like approach of me to the stream, you didn't say anything else before the stream. I mean, I'm cool and chill with everything, but it's just like if you're really trying to learn, you would have been learning and not just like commenting, you know. So I am hoping you are at least taking something out of these streams. So to me, this kind of sounds like you might be one of those people, and I feel you, that lost a lot of money in the beginning, because that was me when I started trading. Several years ago, I lost a lot of money on my own personal capital. It wasn't in prop firms at the time, it was a personal capital. And, you know, I would get mad at everyone that I see being profitable because I would assume everything's fake, it's not possible. And, you know, just because in the beginning you can't make something work or profitable doesn't mean it's not real, you know? Statistically, if you look it up right now, different brokers, different firms have their own different rates. I would not really focus on prop firm payout rates. I'd rather focus on real brokers that are regulated, like for example Tradeovate. There's also, what's it called, AMP, I believe is what it's called. It's a broker, regulated broker. Yeah, AMP Global, that's also a regulated broker for personal accounts. You can just look the stats up. I can even show you guys this real quick. Let's see. But they basically post the success rate of their traders. Let's see if the AMP has one. But I do remember seeing a video on it back then. The success rate was around, depending on each broker is also slightly different, but some of them were better than what you expect. One of the brokers I saw reported a statistical 20% of trades being profitable that trade with their broker on a personal account. So if you think about it, 20% is a pretty good percent. That's a pretty good percent. People think too much about 50-50 when in reality they don't understand that like a lot of things in life are not even that high probability. I can give one quick example, obviously, which is like people that basically, let's say you have a computer science degree and you're trying to be a software engineer at like a big tech company like Google, Amazon, Apple. And I mean, you can go, this is literally data outside there right now, guys. Look up Google acceptance rate. The acceptance rate to get the job is 0.2 to 0.67%. 0.2 to 0.67. So put that into perspective. That's much, several times lower than the success rate of day trading. Much lower. And let's say you want to give the benefit of the doubt. Let's say you want to take that 90% traders fail stat, right? 10% are successful. That's still 20, 30, 40 times more people in terms of proportional percentage than people landing a job at like Google or any big tech company. And also keep this in mind. The statistics are even more skewed because the people that are applying to these big tech companies, a lot of them have degrees. They're qualified in a sense. They basically meet some sort of minimum requirement to at least apply for the job, you know? And in trading, there is no minimum requirement. You don't need to prove that you're profitable to open a broker account. Anyone can open a broker account, even if you are day one completely new to trading. There's people that open an account and probably put in a lot of money and they lose it all within their first month. And they have zero work experience, if you want to call it that. So the percentages are even more skewed if you think about it like that. I'm sure if they have a way to validify traders before they open up a broker account, for example, the success rate of day traders will skyrocket. It will be much higher, personally, in my opinion. I'm not going to say it's going to be double, but it will still be definitely higher than what it is currently in terms of success rate. Because the main thing is, of course, no matter how good your system is, if your discipline is bad, you're bound to blow the account at some point anyway, if you keep tilting, you know? But again, the point is, there's no minimum requirement for trading in terms of entry to barrier, unlike any other industry out there for the most part. And even those other industries, the rate of success is much lower. So I'm not sure where people get this like 10% is bad, honestly, idea from. If you can look this up, guys, let's look this up together. Hold on. Percentage success rate, or sorry, not success rate. Number of retail traders in the world, and then we'll look up 2025. Let's see if we get some data here. It's gonna slightly vary from different websites, but we'll look for a rough number here. So most industries report global number of online traders, including Forex, CFDs, other instruments, at around 10 to 15 million. So 10 to 15 million. Now let's see if we go on a different site here and see if we can find any other corroborated data or collaborated data. So Business Dasher says 9.5 million globally. What was the other number I said earlier? Okay, a number I said earlier is 10 to 15 million. Let's say 9.5. Okay, let's just take 10 million, guys. Let's just take 10 million. Let's just take 10 million. Guys, I don't think people understand. 10 million is a lot of people. That's 10 million retail traders, and 10% of those people are profitable consistently. That is 1 million people. Guys, 1 million traders, retail traders, not institutions, hedge funds, none of that. Not people trading algorithms. 1 million retail traders around the world are profitable consistently. That's a lot of people. There's still a lot of people. That just shows it's still like a real thing, obviously. There's people doing it, guys. There's people doing it, man. There's people making a living off of this. Sorry, Joe. I went on a rant because I'll probably just put that in a different video. But I just wanted to go over that real quick. Just give you guys some, statistical perspective, something that's objective, not opinion-based on trading. Joe said, what indicators does one get if you sign up? So the indicators don't come with anything, the course and mentorship doesn't come with the indicators. The indicators are just separate, but I made them and I custom coded them to fit my strategy. So they help you assist in the strategy in terms of they send out alerts for you automatically. So like, for example, I can add alert here. new session high, low, things of that nature. I'll show you my alerts here that I have. So here are my alerts I have that I just have set. I just have my indicator for sessions as well as previous day high and low sweeps. And that's with the kill zone indicator. You get all these indicators within the $49.99 a month bundle. So you get access to all of them for that, for just $49 a month. But I do have them separate to answer your question from the course and mentorship. It took me about a year to completely build all these indicators, but that just also came with time, since I was also, you know, refining my system, optimizing it even further to make it even better than what it is already. And these are the indicators that I built over time, again, to basically fit the needs of my strategy. You know, I can show you real quick briefly if you want, like a, not really a demonstration, but settings for each one. Then the watermark, no one's really gonna care much about that. You can ignore that. The IFG, there's filtering systems in terms of how you want to filter it mechanically based on size. There's also a different mode. If you just want to trade fair value gaps, you can 100% just convert to fair value gap mode and all in one indicator here. And then obviously this is just for memory purposes. You know, if you don't want too many things to show up on your chart, you can limit it. There's this visual settings, and this is just showing you whenever the IFGs get reversed. So for example, let's say you were trading here and you want to show text when it's inversed, right? So once we close above the IFG, it will show up IFG on the indicator. So you basically get access to all these indicators here. Yeah, anyone that did take my advice to TP here with the new value, it's 1.69. What I'm seeing here is we did not tap into any other PY here, I don't think. Nope. And I got a chat message from a member. Hold on. It's gonna try some new stream music, but I don't want to risk copyright. And to answer your guys' question, this is probably not a short that fits my system personally. I'm being very transparent here. Shorting this is not something that really fits my system, because the context, there's not really much context here. You could say because of this new range, we should have liquidity, but to me, this is counter trend, so it's not a short I would take personally. Over long run, it's a lower win rate, so I don't take that. Is it correct that the market structures are what creates the POI? Just reading something in a private group. Give me 1 second. Again, my view personally, if I was trading this for my system, I would still be holding for the high if I want to be aggressive. But like I said, if you want TP there, you could have. And then if you just broke even, you might have gone wicked out at break even on that candle, depending on how precise your entry was. Yes, do you trade live call every New York Open? I already answered this question too many times. I think I answered it like 12 times in total so far in stream. But I answered it earlier in today's stream. A sent a setup to the chat. Oh, is this a setup, A, that you took on gold? This is, oh, this is today at 10:46. This setup you took. Let me check the setup. Yeah, there's a POC right there. That got hit, so you would have looked for entry right there, and you did get that. So that's a nice entry. That's a good trade. A, that's a good trade right there. Fits my criteria. We swept London session low. We made new value here in terms of ranges, so we are breaking structure to the upside. This is a great continuation here. And on the confluences, there's only one thing unmitigated here, or actually two things, but it's counter trend, so you would just be targeting the weak high there. So yeah, it's a good trade, man. I'd say if I was rating that, probably I'll give it an A. I think the main reason why I wouldn't give it A+, would be like taking it initially down here, but you can obviously argue we have new value, so you can consider this A+. We don't have a sweep, but we do have inducement that got taken out. So if you could want to consider that as your liquidity sweep towards a PY, then for sure, yeah, that's a good setup. And of course, that POC aligns with the 5-minute. It's a good trade right there if you took that, which looks like you did for 4 risk to ward. It's good. Those blue boxes are automatic. Yeah, Joe, these are automatic. They literally my indicator draws out literally everything, man. You see in the chart, a lot of the drawings I don't draw myself. So go in replay mode here to show you, it's not, these don't repaint. It's drawing the session right now. The daily 50% level also will change over time. But you see it's drawing out the 5-minute and live right there. Same with all these fair value gaps, IFVGs. These are all things I used in my strategy, hence why I have it coded up. Otherwise, I would not be selling this or using this myself every day. If you want more proof, I can just go back here. But you can see it's marking IFG whenever inverses, things like that. It's drawing up blue boxes, as you can see. And then as soon as it gets mitigated, the boxes disappear. So it doesn't basically clutter your chart, if that makes sense visually, right? We don't want like a chart that's too messy. So it does delete them, and you can keep them. You can decide to keep them on your chart. If you just uncheck this, you can keep them all on your chart. Also, there's different filtering systems with the boxes too. There's a ton of them. You can filter through different time frames as well to show several different time frames. I'm not gonna enable those right now on stream because it's probably gonna lag my trading view a lot with what I got going on recording and everything already right now. But you can see, right, you can also enable them so they stay on the chart and don't disappear. Like if you were trading my system, these would be valid PYs to short from these 5 minutes right here. And you just got a nice short, they're 5 minute. Again, it's drawn here. Literally, you can take scalps here off these boxes here, like scalp short when it comes back, scalp, 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 scalp. Like there's so many opportunities here if you were to just trade my system with the indicator. This saves you a lot of time in manual work. I don't like manually marking out my POIs. The main reason why I do is gonna be for the course members, guys. You guys know I like to keep things professional here, and so I will still mark things out like for you guys, like this POI here, for charting purposes to the group, so you guys see it clearer. And you guys can see this is one reason why I don't take the short here. It doesn't fit my system, right? It came right back up. Now if you TB'd here, perfect, that's a scalp. I usually don't scalp, so not my cup of tea. If we go to 5 minute here, we did not mitigate anything on the 5 minute. Because price is chopping, you could go to the 2, 3, 4 minute. I usually don't go there, but you can in this case because there's nothing really on the 1 minute that's too clear. But that's about it. We mitigated to 2 minutes, so this holds here. If we take out these highs, we should be going for these highs here. But since, we are creating new value, there's something you want to keep in mind for an hour and 40 minutes. Price could potentially do some funky stuff here. This is not the type of price delivery we want to see if we're in a trade. We want to see something more similar to this where it creates structure, but the structure is at least like internally in line. This you could say is internal bullish, but this is like more so internal swing structure now. Internal structure would be something like this is what it looks like, and it's kind of messy. So not something that we like to really see too much. Someone's messaging me. Give me 1 second. Let's see. One of my students, one of my prior mentorship students, sent me something. I'm gonna give him some critiques on his trades. So I might not be talking live right now on the chart. Okay. And again, this is something, if you are a mentorship student, that you get access to. I can give you basically live feedback on the trades you're taking. And I'll tell you which ones are valid losses, which ones are not valid losses. Let's see. This is... He took trades at 8:30, 8:30, 8:30. Oh, okay. Oh, 8:30 in NQ. Hold on. Look at the wrong thing. Okay, I'm probably gonna hop off here in a little bit, guys. On stream, price is moving very slow right now. I guess I could just keep this. I'll keep this running. Matter of fact, if you're still in this trade and holding, if there's no questions, I'm gonna be D&D for a bit, real quick. Again, if you have questions in general, you can ask them. Anything specific towards my strategy, there's no need to ask those questions. All those questions will be answered within like the course, like I said. Yo, 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 I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Let's see how the trade is running right now on ES. There it is, guys. We're going for higher highs. Again, we have new value here, so just be careful. If you're still in this trade, you get TP here. Ideally, it's ideal TP. If you want to be aggressive, we have these highs above. But so far, it's looking good. So far, it is looking good. So, me personally, like I said, I'm up about 12 for sports for the day. With the 2 gold trades, or 2 to 3 gold trades. With this, I did not take, I told you guys this on the stream, I did not take this already. But I said this was a valid trade, A+ setup. Took it as another 3R, so. Joe said, took your 7-day trial. Cool. Yeah, try it out, man. Let me know if you have any feedback, things like that. For the most part, though, the indicators are pretty robust. But I will say, you do need to use them in some sort of way in terms of you can't just spam entries with them. It's not like a signal bot. You're going to need to understand my strategy system and then use that in combination. That's when they become very powerful. So, yeah, try it out, though. Let me know. And for those that are wondering about the indicators, I'll have the 7-day trial up for a bit. I might end it this month, but we'll see. I just kind of want to gauge like how many people are actually going to take advantage of the indicator, the 7-day free trial for the indicators, and just get some feedback on them. Hence why I'm doing a 7-day free trial. And then if I get enough feedback and such, I can decide to just stop the trials. But we do have a good amount of people with the trials currently that I'm seeing right now. All right, I'm back, guys. I had to have a discussion with one of my mentorship students. He was asking for some feedback on the trades he took. He took a short, and he also took longs today. But he said he managed to break even, unfortunately, on his long. Which, right here, I told him he needs to just basically just follow the rules that I have for my system, for my data, that we don't break even on A+ setups. We let it run, and you can see, unfortunately, it actually literally went to the tick, to the break even of the entries. So, kind of does suck, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Again, where you are creating new value ranges here. If you're still trading today, I call it a day when I see something like this. This is more so choppy consolidation. Yes, there's setups you could take here, but they're not like ideal setups. Like ideally, I would not be taking a long here, this close up in premium to that previous leg. So not too many really valid setups I'm anticipating here later throughout the day here. Not the best delivery in terms of price action here. We're just chopping, and NQ looks even more like chop in just a box. So this consolidation here. And whenever you have consolidation, you guys know exactly what happens after. So, but I'll just let this trade run, you know, and see if we can hit like a 3R on stream. But after this, honestly, I'm anticipating if we get enough momentum, we just take out the New York session high. There's no anything here in terms of PYs here, to be fair. So the only other potential trade idea, if you guys are waiting still and not in this long already, is you can get a potential stop hunter to the pre-stay high as an internal continuation, but it's gonna be slightly more risky to me because the best entries, the initial entries here and here, these are the best initial entries. Once you get up high in premium, it's a little more risky to take internal continuations. And then another potential setup would be if we can get a pre-stay high sweep, you can look for a scalp, and keyword scalp. The reason why I say scalp is because it's counter trend. So you can look for a quick scalp short, like a one risk reward TP kind of trade. So those will just be my overall trade ideas if you guys are struggling with trades. But aside from that, I don't see anything else. Don't see anything else. Unless we create new value, again, new ranges, then we trade off those new ranges. And we ignore everything else. Let's see who else is online. So, okay. Some people are offline. But there is money to be made every day in the markets, as long as you can recognize when to trade and when not to trade. Again, this is a 2-hour hold, so 4 times the average size or average risk reward of my winning trades. Or sorry, not what am I saying? Not risk reward. The average hold duration. My winning trades typically hit 4 risk reward, 3 to 4 risk reward within 30 minutes. So this one's definitely one of those that takes longer, and it makes sense, guys. It completely makes sense. There's something that is not surprising to me that we deliver like this, knowing that we have so much liquidity above. Again, the market's literally faking people out, shorting here, people are shorting out. They're both getting stopped out. And if you can't anticipate that, that's where you go wrong with your trading. And there's mechanical ways to anticipate this. It's not something discretionary. It's something I go over in a course in mentorship, like I said. Last day, if you guys just joined, last month to get the course at the current price. Mentorship spots, I only have 1 left right now. Also for that. And the price of that will also increase next month. Once we get enough people, good sized community, get 50% people going full time, I'll just close out everything. I'll probably still post YouTube videos, I guess, just for fun, but in terms of selling stuff, I'll probably just close out at that point. Get a good enough community. And that's really what I'm looking for, to be honest. And you guys see, I mean, you guys can really watch all my live streams to change these trades live. I think so far on my lives, let's go back. So far on my lives, I think I've taken. So I know one live. I took one loss. The other live, it took a 0.5 RR Asia session ES loss. So that was a tiny loss, but in that trade, in that session, I also took 2 winners before that. So that's 2 losses, 2 wins. I remember in the Asia session, winner streams, and then another day I had 2 wins and 1 break even. And then another stream, which was yesterday. Oh, I think it was just 1 big win. No, sorry, it wasn't 1 big win. I think it was 5 trades total. It was 1 big 5 risk reward trade and 1 loss, and then we had 3 other winners. So I can't do the math right on top of my head, but I believe that is 8 wins or 7 wins, 3 losses. So about a 70% win rate red zone on stream. Again, you can really go back to verify this if you want. Go back to the streams. I don't mind. I keep them up for a reason, for transparency. Go back and watch them. But about 7 wins, if I'm doing my math correct, 3 losses. One of the losses was basically a half size loss. So we typically don't lose often here. And the main thing is, to me, for my system, is the risk to reward. I have a pretty high risk reward. So my average is around 3 to 4. And sometimes I can catch 7 risk reward. 8 great sample size. It's solid. I mean, ideally for sample size, you would want to look at 100 trades. But obviously, that's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time for me to get 100 trades on live streams. So, you know, that's definitely, yeah, no, it's going to take a while. But nonetheless, about basically 70% so far on live stream in terms of win rate. If you do average risk reward, forward risk reward here, if we check the other days on stream, I can show you guys my trading view if I still have it here. Do I still have it here? Those are member notes. I don't want to open those. Okay, here we had 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's another loss right there. 4, 5, 5. So these 2 days this was the day I called out the 5 risk reward, by the way, on the live, and then I called out this, which was a loss. I told you guys this was a lower probability setup earlier, and this is the 5 risk reward was a high probability setup, and it played out. Executions, everything documented, literally live on YouTube. No one else is doing it like this. So it's in those 2 days alone, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5 winners and 2 losers. So it's about a 71% win rate on those days. I do track my long-term data. I have a 4,000 total trade back test, but this is from years ago when I was still developing the system. Now I don't backtest anymore. I purely just live trade now. But you do need to backtest to verify something works first before you live trade, for sure. Otherwise, you're just gambling, in my personal opinion. But long-term data from my trading journal, where I was taking trades live, or taking live trades, that I was documenting each one. I can pull this up real quick. It's about here. I need to pull this out without leaking the link, because this journal is supposed to be for my people that paid for the mentorship. So I don't want to give it out to everyone for free. Okay. So here's my data from my journaling, manual journal. This was about, let me find the trade count. This was about, how many trades was, 637 trades. So, I mean, it's already a really good sample size. It's not 4,000 here. 4,000 was from backtesting. This is live trade data. 647 trades. And my win rate is about 65%. So long term is slightly lower than the 70% on stream. It's about 65. Risk reward average is 3.6. My EV is 2.01. And average risk reward you can make a month. I can check this trade journal real quick. Let's see. This was across 1, 2, 3. This is across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 10 months of trading. So about 60 trades a month on average. So about 10 months of trading, and a total return was about 1,003 risk reward. So it's about 100.3. One of the months I did not take too many trades though. So I think it says November. So November I did not take too many trades. I only took 9 trades actually in November. But every other month, taking a lot more trades. And December was pretty slow. So December wasn't a ton of trades either. And December is notoriously known to be slower anyway. So yeah, about 1,003 risk reward across 10 months. And then you can calculate the average yourself. That's about 100. I think 100.3, something like that. Monthly average. Again, people don't believe this, but like I'm showing you guys live on stream. This is doable. So I don't know, man. I think it's hard to believe because a lot of people, they don't have a strategy that's really profitable. A lot of people, they have a small edge over the market. They don't have a big edge over the market. Does that make sense? Like a lot of these strategies online, especially like very basic strategies with like just super basic stuff that like a 13-year-old can probably do. They're not going to have crazy edges. This is through optimization. My strategy when I started, it was not 100 risk reward a month returns. Right? It took a ton of optimization, cutting out, finding ways to filter out losses to improve that win rate, because my risk reward was never my problem for the most part. I was trying to optimize my risk reward for my trades, but for the most part, the main thing I was trying to optimize was the win rate, because I wanted a higher win rate. I started this strategy at about the same risk reward, but at a 40% win rate. So my win rate has gone up pretty drastically, 25% more from no. So red zone, you won't be a billionaire. That's not how trading works. I'll explain real quick why after I explain this. But that's basically how I optimize this. And again, I'm showing on stream. You can check the streams. I think last stream was about 13 risk reward, and I shown all the trades. Today's stream was 4 risk reward, and then if you took the setup I called out, this is another 3 risk reward right here. And if you just take, if you missed this 4 risk reward like earlier, if you just took this 3 risk reward I called out on stream, that's 3 a day. If you do 3 a day, that's over 20 active trading days. Just do the math. I mean, it's very basic. I don't know why I think people overcomplicate the math too much. That's 60 risk reward a month. Just take 1 3 risk reward trade a day. You can't be, okay, so you cannot be a billionaire trading retail. It's impossible. It's because of liquidity. That's the exact reason why. You cannot consistently risk 1% of your account until $1 billion. That's not possible. There's not enough liquidity for you. So in terms of, if you're thinking about this, in terms of risk reward, you can make 100 risk reward. The risk reward is a performance metric. I think you're focused on the percentage. You will not be making 100% every month. As your account grows and you face liquidity issues, you won't be making 100% every month. You will, at some point, your risk reward will stay the same roughly, but your percent gains will be lower. Does that make sense? So instead of making 100 risk reward a month, this will convert to you potentially risking only 0.2% per trade once you reach a huge size account where liquidity is an issue. And if it's 0.2% risk per trade, if we do the math, that's about 20% a month. So you'd be going from a risk making 100% returns a month to 20%, only 20% returns a month. And it will just keep going downhill from there, right? And from 20% risk or 20% return per month, at some point you face even more liquidity issues. Then you become risking even lower percent of your total account. And then you go to 10% a month. And then once you go to 10% a month, then you start going even lower and lower and lower in percentage growth. Like for example, at some point, once you get a massive size account, I'm sure you will reach a point where you can only make 5% a month, even though you're making 100 risk reward a month. Hence why people like Jim Simmons, this is public knowledge, look it up. Jim Simmons makes, I think 66 annually percent, returns. I'm not gonna bring this up again because I brought it up too many times on past streams and it's kind of annoying repeating it. But Jim Simmons returns here. Let me look it up again to make sure my percentage is correctly. But his annual was 66%. I'm pretty sure. But you need to understand his 6% is not on a small account, guys. Annual return of 66% before fees. And look at this, 39.2% after fees. Just look it up. It's on Google. Guys, he almost lost half of his profit from fees. So you need to understand how much money this guy is trading. This guy is trading massive amounts of money, way more than I can ever imagine. One of his position size could be 15 million. I don't have that money. I don't have 15 million in one position to risk. He could be risking 15 million right here. And that makes sense why his fees are so massive. His commissions are huge. Also, you cannot trade my strategy until you hit $1 billion. It's not possible with liquidity. I already explained the reason mathematically behind why that is. But also, another thing you got to understand is people don't understand the realistic part of trading. Like, if I'm entering a position of 100 million, for example, and I enter at this candle here. So if I'm executing at this candle here at 10:54 a.m., I'm not getting filled at that price. When I'm entering 100 million, I'm getting filled likely up here. I don't have the math, right? I don't have the math calculations for this, but as an example, instead of getting filled here, even though I execute here, I'm getting filled all the way up here. Now tell me what's the risk reward on this trade now? It's a 1-to-1. This is literally a 1-to-1 trade now. So your edge also decreases substantially as you have more money in your account. So red zone, does that make sense to you? I mean, it should be pretty straightforward, but I think a lot of people don't think about how it is to actually trade a real live account like me, like a personal. They think about prop firms, where prop firms, your trade's not going to the live market. So you can enter 10K, or let's say, I don't know, if you have a ton of funding, let's say you can enter 100K risk per trade, and you won't get slipped at all on the market. You won't have spread issues. There's no liquidity issues at all for you. You can still have the same edge. You will not have the same edge once you get to this level, guys. You won't have the same edge once you get to that size account. 100 million size account, are you serious? You're not going to have an edge entering down here. This is impossible. You're not likely, your edge is going to be like this, 1-to-1. And let's say you maintain the same win rate, because win rate, ideally with spread, that shouldn't change for the most part. Actually, I realized one thing. It will change. So it will change. And the reason why it will change is because where you manage your trade is going to be much harder. You're managing your trade up here. And if you manage your trade up here, you don't have much room to breathe to break even at all, man. It's really hard to break even up here. You have no space for your winners to let them run. And I mean, like, look, you don't really have any, your break even is basically at your entry point. So that also does mess up your win rate. So literally with my system, no matter how good this looks, guys, once you build a massive size account, let's say you're risking 10 million per trade, liquidity issues arise, spread arises. This edge, my edge becomes a 1-to-1, for instance, as an example, and the win rate could just go down to like 55%. Or even lower than that, and this would not be an edge anymore. Like this is why people hire quants. This is why hedge funds, institutions, all these big banks, not just banks, but firms, they are hiring quant traders and not retail traders like me to work for them. It's because these strategies, retail strategies, will not work at their size. It won't. There's no edge. That's why they need these people that are hella smart. These people that work for quants, if you think 0.6% acceptance rate is low, or if you think 10% success rate with trading is low, look at the success rate of literally people joining these quant firms. Like the odds of getting that job. Like it's much lower than 10%. I guarantee you it's much lower than 10%. So that's definitely something you need to take into consideration. It's not that retail strategies don't work. They just don't work for that size capital. It's impossible. Like this example with my good edge I just explained. I won't have an edge once they get to that size account. And at that point, honestly, to me, the only way to really grow your capital and trading at that point is really, honestly, you're going to have to just transition to either hiring people to do quants. And the people that hired for quants, for example, you either have to bring your own money, open your own firm, or you just stop trading entirely, because once you're there, you can just take all that money you made in trading and put them into more passive investments, like, for example, S&P, not financial advice, by the way, S&P, QQQ, all these sorts of things. Did anyone hit TP? Did anyone hold this trade? Red Zone or S, do you guys take this? 3 risk reward trade I called out on stream. Finally hit TP. It took a long time because we were creating new value in ranges, but we hit TP. 3 risk reward. There's previous day high in ES as well. That's 5 RR if you held to a previous day high. Again, this is an A setup, so you ideally would not be breaking even on setups like this. 2 examples as to why you wouldn't. Red Zone. Yeah, with my stats, you can make a lot of money. If you trade my system and just follow with discipline, you will make a lot of money trading my system. I can guarantee it's profitable and you can make a lot of money, but I can't guarantee you'll be disciplined to follow it. So I can't guarantee you'll be disciplined to follow a system. The psychology is something I can't control, man. But there it is, man. Proof in the pudding. 3 risk reward right there. Saito-san he's in the course. He's in the Discord. Yeah, Saito-san, you're completely right. People need to do the math. 3R can be 3%, or it can be literally 1% off risking 0.3. That's completely correct. And a lot of people don't realize, but Jim Simmons is not risking 1% per trade. In my opinion, I don't think he is. Because if you're risking like 1% per trade, and let's say he has massive capital, which obviously he does, he needs a stronger edge. He needs a way better edge to be profitable with that size. Now, let's say he's risking only 0.1% of his capital. Obviously, in monetary value, that's still a huge amount. Compared to anyone, even me, it's probably a huge, massive amount of money. He doesn't need as good of an edge to be profitable, because liquidity won't be as big of an issue. He won't get spread filled. They won't be as big of an issue. So Jim Simmons, 66%, he could be risking like 0.10% per trade. Or he could be risking 0.01% per trade. You don't know that. Like someone, if you can investigate, look at his risk reward. I doubt it's on, I don't think it's going to be on the internet. They probably won't show that information on the internet publicly. But his risk reward, you're not going to be able to basically find, because no one knows, no one's going to tell you the percent they're risking at those type of firms per trade. That's like something they don't tell you. So also keep in mind, right? My edge could be better than Jim Simmons at my capital size. As in, like, for example, I can make 100 risk reward a month, right? Which I've been doing for past years. 100 risk reward a month. And Jim Simmons, he might only be making 50 risk reward a month, for example. But obviously, he's still way richer than me. He's way more wealthy than me. Why? Because his capital size. And you may ask, why? How is it possible? You may ask, how is it possible that my performance is better than his? Well, because he trades a different edge that cannot be replicated with my edge. So if he was trading my strategy on his size account, it wouldn't be 100 risk reward anymore. Your risk reward ratio is going to be completely skewed, and trade management. So if I was to convert my system, it could be like a negative risk reward. It could be unprofitable for him, but he's still at 50 risk reward a month. So these are things that you just have to consider and understand in terms of this math. I mean, it's very basic math. I don't think it should be anything too difficult to understand. Maybe one day I could do a stream to try to calculate, but I think that'd be way too difficult because you're gonna have to figure out, if you think about it, if you're entering immediately on this candle, you're looking at the amount of liquidity and volume at this exact candle at the time, not the entire day. People look up the entire volume of the entire day and say there should be enough liquidity. That's not how it works. S, like I mentioned, when you grow your size to a massive account, I'll mention it one more time. I'm not going to mention this again. When you grow your size to your accounts to a size of, okay, let's say you have a 100 million size account and you're risking 1% per trade. If you risking 1% per trade is going to get you filled here and your edge stops working, why would you trade that? Just a question for you to think. Why would you trade that? That your win rate is not going to be high anymore if you're risking 1% per trade on 100 million. It just won't be. You're going to get filled up here. You're not going to have an actual profitable strategy. That's why people de-risk. You go down 0.25% per trade, you won't have as much liquidity issues, and you can get filled down here and you still maintain your edge. You're not going to have an edge with this 1% consistently. I think people question and look into this too much, not knowing that like a lot of people are trading live personal accounts and not prop firms, guys. Because prop firms, you don't have that liquidity issue. And these guys like Jim Simmons, they're obviously not trading prop firm money. They're obviously trading real money. Red Zone said, you should have no problem winning Robin's Cup. Red Zone, you should talk to the dude on Twitter. There's actually a dude. Let me show you guys. What was his name tag? Oh, I found his tag name. There's this dude on Twitter. He claims he's like the dude on the number 5 spot on the Robin's Cup right now. And he's selling like a mentorship for 133K for one-on-one. You should talk to him and ask him. Red Zone said, but why would anyone risk only 0.33 if your win rate is 66% average 3R? Only reason would be liquidity. That you can't just say the only reason would be liquidity. That is the main reason. There's no other reason. That is literally the main reason why you won't be. You would only risk 0.33%. You don't have an edge, man. People gotta understand, you can't have an edge. You can't be profitable if you don't have an edge. It just doesn't work. I'm hoping all of you guys ended green today. It's been about 2.5 hour live stream. This trade literally took up like most of the live stream, but I was glad I was able to call it out for you guys that we're in a live stream today. Let's check NQ. NQ, we have a major SMT right now basically with NQ, and that makes sense. Why? Because NQ took out previous day high already, and ES just took it out. So whatever setups you guys are looking for, again, you can scalp for shorts. It would just be something where you would have to have a closer TP. Hey man, S, you know, if you don't believe me, it's okay. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to join the course. I'm not forcing anyone to join anything. You don't have to join it. But I mean, as long as you're getting some value out of the free stuff, that's cool too. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a little disrespectful to
say something like that when you're getting like when I'm literally showing you live trades here of hitting 3 risk reward trades on live. And these are, again, this is an opportunity for you guys to make money. Like, well, I mean, if you don't appreciate the free stuff either, then there's nothing I can really do, man. There's nothing I can really do. Again, if you're not in the course, you won't like believe this, so it's fine. You can't satisfy everyone, you know. How did everyone trade today? We have 12 people watching. Did you guys end green, red? What assets you guys trade? Just curious. See what NQ's doing. Still holding SMT here. And again, literally this same situation has played out so many times, guys. Talk about this all the time. Major consolidation leads to a big move. Happens all the time. S, I already answered about your payout question, man. Like last stream. I don't want to repeat myself because you're just asking the same questions. Phil, you should appreciate these live streams. You can literally make money with me. You will literally would have made if you just follow my live streams, live trade ideas. I don't know if you're trading live or not, S or whatever, or if you are trading or maybe just learning. But if you've been following like all the trades I've been taking and such, even on like a small account, you would have like by now enough. Even on like a 50K fund, you would by now have enough to just buy the course and you realize what I'm talking about. But again, that's just optional. I'm just saying you have to change your view, man, on things. I think a lot of people are scared on YouTube to claim like something like 100 for a month because they can't do it. Or they just don't trade. And they want to be safe. They like to play the safe game. But again, there's people like FX Alex G, which people believe turning $100 to $1 million in 60 days. That's like more than 100 for return easily. So I don't know, man. It's kind of weird how the trading industry works. That's why I don't have any partnership with anyone in the trading industry. Like I don't have like all these, I know some of these YouTubers, they have like YouTube trading friends. They have like a little like a circle of people like, you know, they back each other up and stuff. I don't really have that. I don't really like to associate with any of the people in trading space. Because the thing is, like, I don't want to be part of like being put in that group. Especially if they're just like Alex G. All right, S, I'm gonna put you on timeout because you're just like spamming stuff, man. You're asking the same questions over and over again. Look at gold. Sheesh. Yeah, whoever caught that setup right there must have been up crazy. Yeah, gold is just going up, and it makes sense. It makes complete sense. We literally tapped into the 1 hour, and I said gold is bullish. My longs would have went crazy here if I held it, but I'm not an unrealistic trader. I'm not gonna hold for 20 risk reward trades. It's not part of my system. But yeah, gold is flying. Gold is flying. But as I would recommend, man, you and the other dude, just go back and watch my live streams. I think you guys were in the other live streams. But just go back and watch them, man. You can learn some stuff for free. If you don't have the money for it, you can just learn some stuff for free. Again, I don't have the obligation to, do these live streams and giving out free trades and literally money. But, I mean, I am, so. Gold, I'm anticipating right here to just go up for this 1 hour demand or supply here. Again, there's going to be lower time frame moves, but for the most part, it's going to be not a good idea to trade reversals with time theory here. 2 hours being bullish, we're creating new internal structure. Ideally, you just want to sit out on gold for this. Ideally, you want to sit out. But I do prefer, or I do, what's it called? I do like the people that are actually asking questions about trading, because that shows initiative that they're actually trying to learn trading. So I do appreciate those that are asking like actual questions about trading. Do you wait for confirmation after liquidation candle close? What does that mean? Liquidation candle close? Like after sweeping liquidity? If that's your question, yeah, I do. I have entry models for that. And I talk about it to the group, but basically it depends on how price delivers. And there's mechanical ways of identifying that, and then you basically use the entry model that fits best with how price delivers from or towards the POI and off the POI. Those are two pretty important things. A lot of people never really talk. I don't think anyone talks about how price delivers for the most part to POIs online, but this is something I've been back testing, journaling a ton, and something I found that can actually slightly increase the win rate. It's not going to be substantial, but it can slightly help you avoid some losing trades or taking some bad entries. But for the most part, yeah, entry models are pretty necessary. Unless it's an A+ setup, you can use limit orders. There it is, man. ES is flying. I mean, the market so far, the past few streams also have been pretty fairly easy to trade because we've had good price action for the most part. I think there's one stream where we actually had bad price action. But for the most part, we had solid price action so far on stream. Had solid price action. And the draw is always, like the draw is just basically super clear every single day. It's just highs, man. It's literally just highs. Just follow the market. It's just highs. I'm going to put these in a different interval here. Oh, I forgot to have my music on. I'll figure something out for music for y'all. Because I feel like the ETU music is kind of corny. All right, there you go. Should clear everything up. But yeah, just recapping today. This was the trade we took, called out on stream. ES long here. You could have took it on NQ as well. Would have been the same setup on NQ. We had consolidation, but we held the low ultimately, which is where you invalidate your trades. So depending on how you manage your trades there, you could have been break even. TP that 1R for scalping. The other option would be just targeting the high here for 3 risk reward or 2.5. If you target previous day high, it's about 4 risk reward. Entry was here. For 5 risk reward. Otherwise, if you target that high, there's 3 reward. Which for me, if I was looking at this, and I was telling you guys like what's ideal, ideally I just TP at these highs because previous day high is not guaranteed, but it is like close enough to where it's not unrealistic. If previous day high was like all the way up here, then yeah, for sure, it's not realistic. Hopefully everyone is done trading today. I mean, there's not much really else here to trade. You catch 2 nice A setups, or 1 A plus and 1 A setup, and you should just be done for the day. Don't get too greedy. I mean, this is at least $7 in a single day. It's $140 a month. So don't get too greedy. You know, just focus on, you know, just executing your system. All you gotta do. All you gotta do. I see Kevin might not be on today. Actually, one of the course members. He's usually in these streams. He's offline today, I think. There's the people that are scalping it for the short. If you just scalp that, again, for me, it's low probability. I wouldn't be taking this, hence why I didn't call us out live. But I told you guys ahead of time that you could have scalped that if you watched back in the stream. It would only be a scalp trade. This would only be a scalp short for me. It would not be like a long-term TP kind of trade. All right, I'm gonna end it here, guys. There's nothing much for me else to really cover. Gone over some trade ideas, giving you guys some call outs, or 1 call out for 3 reward. Guys, did enjoy the stream, leave a like on the video. Trying to grow the channel a bit more without obviously flexing or doing any like luxury stuff that I think attracts the wrong crowd of people. So guys, did enjoy the stream, leave a like. And again, if you guys have any questions, you can ask in the course members chat and I'll be glad to answer them if you took any trades today, things of that nature. But yeah, you know, just a trade today and another day on stream green. So yeah, it's about 5 days stream green so far. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, one more thing. I probably won't be streaming tomorrow. Today's Monday. I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, but I will try to do these streams like once in a while or so. So yeah, see you guys here. Basically, the course, like I said, the course adventure pricing will go up next month. So if you want to join in, now's the time. And I'll see you guys in the next one.